Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
All right, everybody. I'm going to adjust my microphone there. All right, everybody. Welcome to another great edition of Freed on Business. We're now well into the episode 750, I guess, 752, 753. I've kind of lost count. I want to thank our sponsors, as always, Warren Henry Automotive. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage you can. That's why you go to Warren Henry. They've been a sponsor for 12, 13 years. So we want to thank them all. They're so great to be part of the Warren Henry family. This week, we've got a great guest on. We've got Matt Gold. His handle is MedMatt. We're going to talk about all things Medicare, Medicaid. It's a whole language. I don't know anything. I think most of the people that are heading towards this zone or even in it don't really know what to do. So maybe Matt can give us a primer, and then he'll give us his contact info, and you can talk to Matt probably directly after this, which is what I would recommend. Mr. Mendoza, where's Mr. Gold? There he is. Hey, Matt, how are you?
It's so nice to see you again, Jim. I don't know if the audience knows, but we used to do a couple of shows in the beginning of before you hit 700.
Yeah.
And had that huge mic in front of you. We were back in the old days where we used the computer.
Yeah, with Mike T, and you taught everybody how to make scrambled eggs once. Push it all towards the middle. I love that.
Best to cook the steak.
I love that. So Medicare Matt, Medicaid Matt, it's MedMatt. Give us a primer. First of all, what's the difference between Medicare and Medicaid? I mean, I get confused. I don't know what's what.
Right. So Medicaid is more for those who are the best way to remember it is just to say aid. Medicaid is aid. You're getting financial aid, where and it does provide aid for health insurance, but it's more geared to financial component of aid, whereas Medicare care is more of the health insurance coverage.
Okay.
So that's the simple way to do it.
So, lots of people don't have health care at all. Other people have Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Other people have private health care, AvMed, Florida Blue. Then they hit, I guess, 65. How is that impacted? Do they get to drop that and just take Medicaid or Medicare, or how does that work?
Yeah. So technically what happens is when you turn 65, you're not supposed to be on traditional health insurance anymore. Through all those other aforementioned companies you brought up, you move to the Medicare program, which is it's a government subsidized program. The government picks up a percentage, and then the individual independent insurance companies pick up the rest. That's it. That is it in its simplest form. In the big picture, there's really two programs.
So quick question. So do I carry a Florida Blue card and a Medicare card, or do I just have a Medicare card?
And you answered the question almost before I even stated it. And basically, in the world of Medicare, you get the easiest way to remember it is to think of it, as silly as this sounds, as a triangle. At the top of the triangle, you're issued Medicare. Once you have Medicare, then at the bottom of the triangle, you can pick the bottom, in your case, the bottom right or the bottom left, right? And the bottom right would be Medicare supplements offered by all the aforementioned companies you mentioned, the Florida Blue, United, Humana, Aetna, so on and so forth. On the other side is Medicare Advantage. Medicare Advantage also offered by those same type of named companies, but it's a little bit different in that the Medicare Advantage is a bundled plan. It's a networked plan. You have to stay within the network. The supplement side has an 80-20 relationship with Medicare. So back to the top of the triangle, you got 80% of your Medicare will be covering you, and then that supplement will pick up the remaining 20% piece.
So let's say that.
So to answer your question, you're right. You'll have on that side of the triangle, you'll have two cards plus a third card for your prescription drug plan.
How do people keep this straight?
It's hard to do. And that's why I have this job, right? And then the Advantage plan basically bundles those three into one plan to make it a little simpler.
Okay, so let's get started with my questions from zero. This is
Yeah,
great 'cause
so
I don't know anything.
so
It's great because I don't know. I didn't look at anything because I just want to be a person. So if you pay make believe $1,000 a month for your regular health care today,
yeah.
and you're gonna next year have Medicare, does it stay $1,000?
No, it's going to hopefully improve significantly, but it depends. It honestly depends because it's tied to your income. And actually, it's a 2-year look back of your income. So if you were 63 and joining Medicare at 65, which is the traditional age to join, there, if your income was really high at 63, you might be as high as that $1,000. But what happens is, going back to my triangle, Medicare has two pieces. It's A and B at the top of the triangle. A is free. So hospitalization coverage gets you a room, not guaranteed private, a bed, sheet, pillow, blanket, etc. And it covers you 100%. And then there's part B. It's called the medical coverage, covers you 80%, covers pretty much everything you can think of, the doctor visit, any kind of surgical procedure that's medically necessary, your radiological services, X-ray, CAT scan, MRI.
Is there a limit? Is there a limit to my contribution?
No cap on benefits. Unlimited.
No, on my contribution, like a deductible or a maximum out of pocket.
Right. So in reference to the Medicare part at top of the triangle, you basically just have a small deductible of $240 per year. But if you're in a supplement or you're in an Advantage plan, some supplements will pick it up and some won't. On the Advantage side, they pick it up. So you might not have anything for Medicare. But then when you pick the supplement, you may have to pay that little deductible. But once you have that covered, then you should have 100%, coverage. With the exception of the prescription drugs, you'll always have copays. And you have to pay premiums for those as well on the supplemental side. On the Advantage side, most of the plans have no monthly premium, which is very enticing.
That's what I see on TV where they go, we'll give you money for gas, for food, for electric.
Absolutely.
But that has to have a means test, Matt.
Yeah, well, you have to be careful because not every product is right for everybody. Of course, that's what they try and sell because that's what gets, moves the needle, right? I mean, you're offering them free services. Let's focus on what is really necessary and needed by the consumer. What do you need? You need health insurance. Yes, it's nice to have $50 or $100 to go credit yourself to groceries or gas or even an access to a gym membership, right? But the truth is, the main concern as we age is to have health coverage. And you have to really look at that, the meat and potatoes of each plan. And that's where I come in.
So what do you do, Matt?
Well, I interview my clients. I find out what makes them tick because there are, I'll take a page out of politics and we'll just say, if you ask any Republican a certain question, they're going to, be forthright with their answer and they believe it wholeheartedly. The Democratic side is going to say the polar opposite. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. It's almost the same thing, supplement versus Advantage. And I'm not saying one side is Republican versus Democrat. I'm just saying whoever chooses a supplement is going to have an opinion that they chose the right product. And whoever chooses Advantage is going to say the same thing. And my goal is to make sure I tap in to what's important to that individual and what's best for that individual and help them make the right choice.
So let's go back and talk about some of the things we glossed over before. What's part A? What's part B? What's part C? What's part D? How come there's not an E?
Maybe one day.
Oh.
So part A and part B are the top of the triangle, Medicare. And that's what we'll call it original Medicare. A is your hospitalization coverage. Like I said, covers you 100%, no cost. Part B is your medical coverage, commonly referred to as your doctor coverage, covers you 80%. For most people, you're going to pay a base amount premium for that part B of $174.70 per month. I say base amount because if your income was higher than the chart. I can show the chart you can find you can Google Part B premiums for Medicare, and you'll get the chart where it see where your income lies and what additional costs you'll pay above the 174. But it could be, believe it or not, as high as $600 a month for Part B.
What do you mean, believe it or not?
I'm just saying it's what it is.
The reality is that healthcare is out of control.
Yes.
And this is supposed to keep it in the realm of affordability. But since you started to talk politics, I'll just say that the more that they give, the more they're going to raise prices. It's like what happened with college tuition. They just spend the money. So there really has to be some kind of reform here in the entire system. The Obamacare thing made it accessible in its current format to everybody, theoretically at some level. But we really need some kind of overhaul where people don't cut their pills in half and that kind of thing.
Or not eat a meal because they have to buy medication.
Let's talk about C, which is more than the 600. So now I'm free. Now I got $600 more. Now what? What's C, and how much does that cost me?
So when we talk about my triangle, going back to the triangle.
By the way, Matt, I think most of our viewers are going to be in that category, like me, where they're going to do the program and then they're going to have the income where it's going to be that top. So I'd like to figure out what it is.
Right. So, and we can post that on your site. I guess we can send you.
I don't want to post my personal stuff, but
no, not that. I'm saying the cost that Medicare charges for the Part B.
Okay.
But in reference to your question, Medicare A and B is the top of the triangle. Medicare supplements the bottom left, and they're all named by letters. So you got F, you got G, you got N, you got K. Those are all the names of the supplemental plans. On the right side, the Medicare Advantage side, it's also called Part C because you're complete. You bundled those three pieces from the left side, right? Medicare A, B, the supplement, and the drug plan. We bundle all that together, and we'll call it Medicare Advantage, or you can call it Part C.
And that's the one you're talking about where I would go since I have traditional insurance.
Well, if you want to have no referrals and you want to be able to go anywhere you really want to go.
My phone works. I get appointments.
Right. So you'd go on the supplemental side. So you'd have Medicare AB, the supplement, and the drug plan. By the way, the drug plan is called Part D. D for drugs.
Drugs?
Yeah. Your prescription plan.
How much does that cost?
Believe it or not, on the supplement side, I actually have a plan right now is 0 monthly premium.
Does it come with a bus trip? I couldn't resist.
And then we have plans as high as over $100 a month, believe it or not. So
okay, so I'm adding it up, and it sounds like I'm paying the same $1,000 a month.
You could be if your income's up there, without question. A lot of times, I have clients that ask the question: should I stay on my group health insurance or move to Medicare? I'm 65 now, and if their income is elevated, like you described, then a lot of the time I'll tell the clients to stay on their group plan because of the increased, we call it in the business IRMA, income related monthly adjustment. So those are an extra charge you get to pay because you're paying your fair share.
I call it a wealth transfer, but whatever. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm just an American. So now we have this stuff in place. Is it going to be available going forward? What's the wins? What does the wins say? Because I'm a member of AARP and they scare the crap out of me every 6 months.
Well, that's
so did some of the political candidates who I won't mention.
So I would think, being in this business now 12 years plus, I think there would be a major, not a minor, a major revolt from the people if they took Medicare away. If they made improvements to it and modified it, I guess it depends on the proof in the pudding, right? To see how it would be. But I really think that it's a necessary evil right now that we have Medicare and Medicare supplements and advantage plans. So it is right now all we have.
So Matt, somebody's 63, 64. Should they be thinking about this, or should they wait till they're 64 and a half, like my friend Ed Cairo, who's definitely watching and listening?
Yeah, I think anything earlier than 64 and a half is maybe a little early. So at 64 and a half is a good spot, is a sweet spot. it's a good time to get your information. Getting Medicare Part A and B at the top of our triangle used to take 2 weeks to get. It was almost like a light switch. You just flick the switch and you get it. Not so much today. Sometimes I've seen situations where clients have been waiting upwards of 60 days to get their Medicare. So you want to make sure you're on track to get it when you turn 65, at least for the first day of your birthday month is when you want it to be in effect. And at least a day or two before that, so I can get you on the appropriate supplemental or advantage plan.
Matt, how do people get a hold of you and get more information? And what questions am I forgetting? I think I've got a bunch. I think I've nailed it.
You hit a home run, Jim. You did great. Medmat.com is the best way to get me. And on there, you can schedule an appointment for me to, make a phone call to you. I just have the Calendly function on there and you can just make an appointment. And if not, you can read all about what's going on my site. I just am updating my videos. They'll be up in the next 2 weeks. So I have about 18, 20 videos that will go up. They'll be there in less than 2 weeks. And then I'll be making more content as I go.
Well, we made some content here today.
Absolutely.
I'm really so glad you came back, Matt. It's so great to see you. You're just truly one of the best friends a guy could have.
Oh, it's always good to see you, Jim. I enjoy being with you as well.
Say hey to your brother for me. I miss him. I'll see him at the basketball game. And even though that's a couple months away. And I really, Matt, you're the perfect person for this. You're calm, you're measured, you're focused, you're a consumer yourself. You're a caring, thoughtful person. And that's, I think, what the most important factor is in this, because people are afraid and they're making life decisions that they don't understand.
And they should be afraid, because if they do choose incorrectly, it could cause them thousands of dollars in costs by making a wrong choice. Because unlike under 65, where there's no medical underwriting, when you go into Medicare, there's still no medical underwriting. But if you make a switch, there will be medical underwriting in certain plans. So you have to be very, very confident that whatever you choose initially is the right thing, because typically you're going to be on that plan till the very end. Yeah.
But we didn't talk about that. How about long-term care or nursing care? That's pretty basic on this, or you have supplemental plans for that?
Yeah. Well, there's long-term care policies that I work, and provide. I find that to be a very important part of planning for the future. The numbers are staggering. It's 1 out of every 2 people will have some kind of need for that. So to have some kind of basic plan in place is always advisable.
Well, I think we have the reason for you to come back, Matt. We're going to talk about that long-term care stuff and put this in our suite of content that goes along with the reverse mortgages and the HELOCs to help people that are, over 62. So, Matt, thank you so much. Again, Matt, your website is
medmat.com.
Again, Matt Gold. I highly endorse Matt. He's a wonderful person. He's somebody that you should bring into your life. And if you have him in your life, you'll be happy. He's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friend and a wonderful
thank you, Jim.
Service provider in this arena. My pleasure, Matt. Mr. Mendoza, I think it's time for a break. You did that just for me, didn't you, Mr. Mendoza? There's the official hat for that season. I want to thank our friends at the Marlins. Had a great time at FanFest. Hey to Juan and the rest of the team out there. I really had a great time. And looking forward to going this year with my ticket partner. And we're going to have the best time. I went to opening day a few years ago with Larry Zinn. Hopefully Larry will get to go with me to another game. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry. I'm wearing the wrong hat, Larry. I'm not wearing your hat this time. Sorry. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry for being our sponsors for 12, 13 years, treating us like family. They're the most terrific people. My 85-year-old mom goes there. My beautiful wife goes there. They're treated like gold, and they feel comfortable in an otherwise uncomfortable circumstance. Nobody ever feels great about going to the auto place unless you feel like it's your home, and that's what it is here. So when you're looking to buy or lease a car and you want to get every advantage that you can, you go to Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, Jaguar, and Lincoln. They're building this gorgeous Lincoln store up at 151st and Biscayne. They've got an award-winning Land Rover, Range Rover store. High five to Eric for that. Down in South Dade, up in Gainesville, I keep getting their emails. The Audi store is gorgeous. I love it up there. I want to get that Audi sports car. And down in the Keys, you can get everything down there from Chevy. They just bought the Chevy dealer down there. All great cars, all come with Warren Henry Advantage. That's complimentary key replacement, complimentary service loaner. They'll guarantee that you're getting the best value on your trade-in, the best price on your new car or your leased car. They'll give you 3 days to make sure you like your car. You can turn it back. Nobody ever does that because they're such great cars. So join me, my beautiful, lovely, kind, wonderful wife, my mom, lots and lots of my clients and friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. Jim Freed, founder of Sandstone Realty Advisors. Mr. Mendoza, please tell Matt he can hang out in the green room. We'll be with him in a couple of minutes. Sandstone Realty Advisors, I'm the founder. I do everything from consulting to large family offices like the Flax Group to local family offices like Butters, who I've done business with, other families as well. And, I do everything from first mortgages for them to helping them raise GP and LP capital. I help them find transactions. I help them structure the deals. Why do they work with me? Because like I said with Matt, I'm a kind, caring person who puts them first. My personal brand is that I feel great whenever I help people solve their problems and achieve their goals. I do that by bringing them peace of mind. So remember, reach out to me, DM me, real estate financing, real estate transactions, real estate consulting. I help people solve their problems. And remember, whenever you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
We had a great show today. We had Matt on, who was talking about different ways to protect your assets when you get older, using the correct health insurance. We'll get him on again to talk about long-term care, which is important to a lot of people. Last week, we had Ed Cairo on. Ed and I talked about reverse mortgage loans, another way for people that are over 62, basically to do some financial engineering and bring redo their income, pull some money out of their house. We also talked about HELOCS, another thing, which helps you pull money out of your house. So if you're a senior and you're looking for ideas, give me a call, reach out. We can help. We're doing, again, first mortgages. Rates are now below 7 for a regular first mortgage. We're starting to see people do those as well. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank our sponsors, Warren Henry. I want to thank Eric, Larry, Ismet. I just talked to Ismet the other day. Maytal Stark, all our friends at Warren Henry who keep us rolling and keep us here on the show on the airwaves. I want to thank the University of Florida Center for Real Estate Studies, the Bergstrom Center. I'm looking forward to going up there to the annual Trends and Strategies Conference in the next couple of weeks. And I want to thank our guest today, Matt Gold. Matt is a tremendous friend and a kind, loving person who got into this industry, to help people, because that's the kind of person he is. So remember, we'll be back next week. We'll drop our brand new podcast next week at noon. It'll be another great topic of interest. Still putting it together, but I think it'll be a finance topic, a real estate finance topic. So join us. Remember, the person wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Mr. Mendoza, the rest of the show is yours.